And welcome, sports fans, to today's Roundtable. Glad you joined us, and a very exciting time of the year, especially this weekend. Getting underway with district tournament play for classes 1 through 3. They get underway today. We'll actually got a few games to report on that have taken place today, and actually some surprises early on especially. So we'll get to those a little later in our broadcast, but we got some highlights to go to with the games that we've done this week. We had Gideon-Campbell Thursday night, and also we had Poplar Bluff and Dexter Tuesday night in Dexter. So those are highlights from the last two games that we'll show you from this week, and also we'll show you some updated state rankings. These will be the final state rankings of the regular season. We won't have another poll till the season's over and the final polls for high school basketball this season, but we do have some updated state rankings. We'll also go over the district tournament games taking place starting today for classes 1 through 3, but also the class 4 and 5 tournaments have been seeded this week. We'll get to those as well for boys and girls class 4 and 5 district tournaments. It's taking place starting this next weekend. Classes 1 through 3, 1, 2, and 3 get underway today here on Saturday, and we'll show you the games taking place there across southeast Missouri as well. And also, we'll give you some headlines going forward, as well as our broadcast schedule going forward. The games that we're going to be televising this next week. Actually, our final broadcast will be this next week in our regular season broadcast, but we will be bringing some district and state tournament games. So we'll give you an update on the games we intend to broadcast going forward next week right here on YHC. So let's go ahead and get to some results from the last few nights in the area. Starting off with last night, only one game really last night in the area, Sikeston and Jackson. SEMO conference matchup there. Jackson getting a victory. Jackson's been playing very well here of late. Got a victory earlier in the week, or either earlier this week or last week against New Matter County Central, and defeated Sikeston last night. So Jackson coming up with some big wins. They've had a difficult season this year, especially in the conference, but certainly in the last week, getting some big victories over New Matter, and last night against Sikeston, 71-68. And in other games, going back to Thursday night, the game that we brought to you live from Thursday in Campbell, it was Campbell over Gideon, and that was a score of 53-39. Campbell securing that victory Thursday night in Campbell on their senior night, final home game of the year for the Campbell Camels in the regular season. And we've got some highlights to show that from Thursday night. And let's take a look. And here we go. Early on, nice spin move. Basket up and good. Getting the Camels started. And here, I think that was Williams with that little scoop shot for the Bulldogs here. Pushed out. And transition bucket for Gideon. And getting out to a lead early on. But here we see Carlos Camargo with a nice basket underneath. Blake Fowler, a little crossover dribble to his left. 3-point shot up and good. And here a 3-point shot in the corner up and good for the Bulldogs. Into the second quarter here. Jump stop into the paint. Tough basket gets it to go. And Gideon putting together a nice little series here. Basket up and good with the left hand. And we see here Charlie Parker getting a nice runner off the glass for the Camels. Basket and the foul. And here in the transition, getting out and getting some baskets in the transition. And a close game at half into the second half. We see Campbell really starting to get some momentum. Here we see Gage Stover knocking down the three on the right side. Big shot for Stover. And the Bulldogs here, a three-pointer. Jacob Vines hitting one in the right corner. And we see here Caden Siebert going to step into a three of his own on the left side. And here in the transition, and nice bucket for the Bulldogs here. And Fowler getting a tough basket into the paint. And nice little fake handoff here all the way for the two. I believe that was Williams. And here we see into the late third, we see Blake Fowler going to hit a three-pointer right at the buzzer as the third quarter ends. Now into the fourth. Fowler on the way to the basket and the foul, and Fowler really starting to heat up in the fourth quarter. And we see here three-pointer up and good. Gideon really fighting to keep it close here. Another three-pointer on the right side up and good. Cuts it to 10. And here, nice drive to the paint. Basket up and good. But final score there, Gideon and Campbell from Thursday night. 53-38, the Camels victorious over the Bulldogs. Blake Fowler finished strong, had a 27-point night, 20 in the second half. Really, he was the difference in the second half. having a strong second half. It was a 21-20 game at half, and Gideon just could not get anything consistently going in that second half. And Blake Fowler was the difference, scoring 20 in the second half and pulling away for that victory at home in Campbell. And take a look at some other games from Thursday night. Sykeston over Caruthersville, 90 to 66. Excuse me, 90 to 66. Sykeston over Caruthersville, senior night for Sykeston. Players that we've seen for the last 4 years: Peyton Howard and Clark Stewart. You know, the last 4 years, those guys been even playing as a freshman at the varsity level, and they end their career on their home court last night with a victory over Caruthersville. Nice win for Sykeston Thursday night. Taking a look at some other games: Charleston over Poplar Bluff, 87-60. Charleston continuing their fine season and a decisive victory over the Poplar Bluff Mules last night. They're still hanging tough in that SEMO conference. But we'll talk about Notre Dame leading the way as they are currently in that SEMO conference. Cooter over Delta C7, Tri-County Conference matchup there, 92 to 60. Cooter over Delta C7. Also, we've got South Iron out west over East Carter, 75 to 60. Malden over Holcomb in a close one, 61 to 54. Boot Hill Conference matchup there. St. Vincent over Meadow Heights, 71 to 59. That's a team to look out for, certainly in district time this weekend going forward. St. Vincent with a victory over Meadow Heights. New Matter County Central over Scott County Central, 81 to 47. St. Hornersville over North Pemiscot, big, 79 to 33. Oak Ridge over Marquand Zion in a rout, 132 to 35. And in the girls' ranks from Thursday night, Twin Rivers over Holcomb, 60 to 52. Also, we've got Twin Rivers over Holcomb, 60 to 52. Orion over Scott City, 67 to 30. New Matter County Central over Zenith Hornersville, 65 to 21. Notre Dame over Neelyville, 57 to 44. Two of the best teams in Southeast Missouri there between Notre Dame and Neelyville. Poplar Bluff over Kennett, 61 to 49. Hayti over Scott County Central, 76 to 58. Portageville over East Prairie, 42 to 37. Donovan over Malden, 66 to 34. Chaffee over Puxico, 55 to 13. And also we've got Cape Central over Perryville, 71 to 49. And those are the girls' games from this week, back on Thursday night. And take a look at the replay if you want to watch here on YHC TV, a replay of that Gideon and Campbell game from Thursday night. We'll replay that here Saturday. We did at noon and also at 6:30, and you can also catch that Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. And of course, you can watch that on demand anytime on our website at yhctv.com, or go to our YouTube and Facebook pages. You can watch online there as well, anytime online. And we're going to take our first break. Before we go to our break, we want to remind you of the get there real quick. And I want to remind you of the Bright Idea Contest. And entries are still open up until March 1st. The Bright Idea Contest, we've been promoting that ever since the Bluefield Christmas Tournament. The Bright Idea Contest is up for $10,000. If you're a middle schooler or a high schooler, you got a bright idea that you would potentially take to market to make a business out of, a product or a service, log on to brightideacontest.com. If you're a middle schooler or high schooler, brightideacontest.com. Sign up for the Bright Idea Contest taking place this spring, and $10,000 is on the line for any middle school or high schooler with a great idea to potentially as an invention or an entrepreneurial venture. And you can sign up there at that website, brightideacontest.com, and you can get in on the contest this spring for a chance to win $10,000. So check that out online, brightideacontest.com, and learn more about that and to sign up with your very own Bright Idea. Entries are open until March 1st, so check that out online. And we're going to take a first break, and when we come back, we'll have some storylines from the area, as well as we'll touch on some district tournament games that have taken place, also the district tournament brackets, and highlights of that Dexter Poplar Bluff game from earlier this week. So we'll be back with that coming up.
Growing up, and I enjoy the story about when my uncle let my cousin and I, we were 11 and 12 at the time, drive the John Deere tractor with a hand clutch to the house to get some water. When we got back, we couldn't get the clutch back. We ran over the front porch of the shop, a disc, several rolls of cotton before we got it stopped. My uncle wasn't very happy. Not a good day. Best price, best service. Glenn saying, God bless our troops.
These are some of the greatest young inventors and entrepreneurs in U.S. history. Could you be next? Do you want to win $10,000? If you are currently enrolled in a school in Southeast Missouri and between 7th and 12th grade, you can have your chance. Visit www.brightideacontest.com for contest rules and details.
Hi, I'm Barry Aycock. You can have a bright idea, be from a small school, or live in a small town. Invent something that the whole world uses. We look forward to seeing your bright idea.
We want to spark entrepreneurial spirit in the youth of Southeast Missouri. If you have a business idea or invention, visit www.brightideacontest.com. Entries must be submitted by March 1st. Good luck!
And welcome back, and now let's take a look at some storylines from the area this week. And first, starting off with Gideon's 16-game winning streak that just come to an end Thursday night in the game that we brought to you on YHC. And Gideon was posting a 16-game winning streak all the way through Thursday night and haven't lost since the first round of the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament, nearly 2 months since they've lost a game. They lost to Portageville in the first round of the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament, then won the 3 remaining games, come away with a consolation championship at that Bloomfield Christmas Tournament, and then winning all the way through January and February, including the Tri-County Conference Tournament Championship against Risco last Friday night, and got a win Tuesday night, a narrow victory over Zenith Hornersville Tuesday night, and then just fell short to Campbell Thursday night in the game that we brought to you here on YHC. So Gideon, one of the hottest teams in Southeast Missouri, and having a hot streak, just going into the district tournament, which we'll touch on their district tournament in Class 1 District 2 here momentarily, but certainly worth highlighting once again, coming off that 16-game winning streak, the Gideon Bulldogs, up until this week. And also Notre Dame looking to clinch the SEMO Conference title, the regular season title this next week. And they'll do that, try to do that at Dexter at the Bearcat Event Center Tuesday night in a game that we will bring to you here on YHC. So Notre Dame in the driver's seat for that conference title, the SEMO Conference this year in the regular season. Only 1 loss in the regular season, and that was to New Madrid, actually. Haven't even lost to the top teams in the conference like Charleston and Cape Central. So only 1 loss in that SEMO Conference. Everybody else has got at least 2 losses. I think Cape Central and Charleston are sitting there right at second place there with 2 losses. But Notre Dame, the only team with 1 loss, they can clinch the regular season championship with a win against Dexter Tuesday night. That was a team we thought coming in that would win the conference this year, expected coming in. They brought a whole lot back, pretty much their starting 5 from a good Notre Dame team last year. They stumbled out of the blocks, certainly in that SEMO Conference tournament at Sykeston, losing in the first round to Kennett. And had a couple stumbles along the way, but they're peaking at the right time, looking really good, and got a chance to clinch that SEMO Conference title Tuesday night in Dexter. And speaking of the Dexter Bearcats, let's take a look at their game from Tuesday night. They hosted the Poplar Bluff Mules Tuesday night, and we've got some highlights of that. They won the game Tuesday night, so taking a look at the victory for the Bearcats Tuesday night. Let's take a look. And we see here early on, Bluff getting a nice bucket there off the dish, and we see here Andrew Ellinghouse going to step into a bucket right there for the Bearcats. Going to step into that bucket here, and pretty much back and forth early on as both teams, and Driscoll getting a nice up and under bucket for the Bearcats. 3-pointer on the left side. Joseph Hardiman knocking that one down. Nice guard for the Mules, and Hardiman knocking one down there at the end of the first quarter to beat the buzzer. And we see here Bluff getting transition bucket. 3-pointer. Andrew Ellinghouse going to knock it down from the left corner. And we see here tough bucket for the Mules in the paint there. And here Ellinghouse going to knock down another 3. Same spot. Almost the exact same shot from the left corner. We see here Garrett Henson getting some tough buckets underneath in this game for the Bearcats. We see here a nice entry pass, basket, and the foul. And we see here a nice drive to the basket, up and in, as Dexter getting some nice momentum here in the second half. So we see here a nice dump down once again to Henson. And Dexter getting a nice lead, trying to hold on to it here into the third and fourth quarter. And here we see Jackson Allen knocking down a 3 for the Bearcats. And nice and one bucket here for Hardiman in the paint. And nice tough bucket underneath there. Henson getting that one to go. And Bluff hanging tough here in the second half, trying to make a run of it. Here a basket and the foul. And here at the end of the third, nice turnaround jumper, basket and the foul once again. Into the fourth, nice behind the back pass. Transition bucket for the Mules. And Dexter hanging on to a 7-point lead. Make it 4 with that 3-pointer. And we'll see your nice dump down there. Looking for Ellinghouse, basket and the foul. And here we see a nice step through. And under 3 minutes to play here, Ellinghouse in the transition fakes it for an easy 2. And Bluff still trying to make it interesting here, trying to cut the lead down. They do to 4 at that point. But in the end, I forget what the final score was there. I think it was about a 7-point victory for the Bearcats in that game Tuesday night. So a big win for Dexter. CMO Conference victory against Poplar Bluff, and held off a talented Bluff team Tuesday night. So a nice CMO Conference victory for the Dexter Bearcats Tuesday night. And let's go ahead and take a look at some updated state rankings for this week. And I believe this will be the final poll for the regular season here in the state rankings. And starting off with Class 1 in the boys, South Iron still at number 1. Have been for a few weeks now. Dora's been number 1 pretty much all year up until a couple weeks ago. Dora's back at number 2, followed by Platte Valley, St. Elizabeth, Cairo, Mound City, Golden City, Princeton, Delta, who moves back to number 9, and rounding out the top 10 is Mercer. Moving on to Class 2, the defending Class 2 state champion Greenwood is at number 1, Hartville there at number 2, followed by Skyline, Crane, New Franklin, Oran. Moves back a bit, I think maybe just one spot to number 6. 7, Crest Ridge. 8, Van Far, followed by Milan and Advance. The Advance Hornets sneaking into that top 10. They got a win over, I believe it was Oran, earlier this week or late last week won. Advance got a big win, so they crack into that top 10 poll this week. And in Class 3, Blair Oaks at number 1. Seeing a little bit of change. Blair Oaks still at number 1. Cardinal Ritter at number 2. They move up to number 2. Charleston still at 3. Followed Tolton Catholic at 4, followed by Trinity Catholic, Monroe City, University Academy Charter, Palmyra, Montgomery County, and St. James round out the top 10. Kennett been in that top 10 poll for a number of weeks, for actually a couple of months it seems like, at number 7, and they drop out of that poll this week. In Class 4, Vashon remains at number 1, followed by Raytown South, McClure, Country Day, Grandview, Cape Notre Dame. They're at number 6. 7, Bolivar, followed by Westminster, Ruskin, and Nevada. Cape Central was in that top 10 poll towards the end there, but they drop out this week. In Class 5, Christian Brothers College Prep at number 1, followed by Melville, Francis Howell, DeSmet, Chaminade, Raymore Peculiar, Park Hill South, Rockbridge, Staley, and Liberty. And moving on to, and there's your poll. There's your poll for this week. We're seeing some teams move out, a couple move in. Certainly Advance in that Class 2 poll moving in. And Bernie has been in that poll. They move out from a few weeks back. So have seen some movement in that poll. Some move out, some move in. So that's probably the last one we'll see for a couple weeks before the end of the season. So we'll be sure to bring that to you in a couple of weeks, that final poll for high school basketball. And let's take a look at our broadcast schedule. Actually, before we get to the broadcast schedule, let's take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break and be back with the district tournaments. All of them, classes 1 through 5, classes 1 through 3 get underway today. So we're going to touch on that here momentarily. All of the classes, the district tournaments for boys and girls here in our area. So we're going to come back with that in a moment. So don't go away.
If you or your loved one has disability.
It's time for the President's Day event at Harry Blackwell Dodge in Dexter. There's not just 1 or 2 trucks on sale over here. We're putting them all on sale. Like this 2019 Ram 1500 Limited Crew Cab, we're knocking over $14,000 off. Or check out this bargain, a 2019 Jeep Renegade for just $17,900. Remember, at Harry Blackwell Dodge, on top of the lowest price around, you're still going to get legendary small town service from people who care. You're not just another number, you're family. Harry Blackwell Dodge in Dexter.
If you or your loved one has disabilities that cause you to need a little help, Boot Hill Area Independent Living Services can provide the assistance you need. At Bales, we want you to have control of your life and assist you in thriving in an independent lifestyle. The Consumer Directed Services Program allows you, the consumer, to choose who assists you in conducting your daily activities. Bales serves Stoddard, Dunklin, New Madrid, and Pemiscot counties. Call or visit our office in Kennett to see how we can help you maintain your independence.
And welcome back, and now let's take a look at the district tournament brackets for this week. And let's take a look at Class 1, District 1 down in Southland, getting underway today here on Saturday. Cooter taking on North Pemiscot, the 1-8 matchup. 4th versus 5th Southland. Couch actually defeated Southland earlier today, so they move on to the semifinals. 2nd, Clarkton versus 7th Koshkonong. And 3rd, Naylor versus 6th Delta C7. That's your boys' Class 1 District 1 tournament. Moving up to Class 1 District 2, taking place at Bell City, underway today here on Saturday. Delta takes on 8th seeded Bell City, the 1-8 matchup. 4th, Leopold versus 5th Risco. 2nd, Oak Ridge versus 7th Scott County Central. And 3rd, Gideon versus 6th Richland. That's your matchups in Class 1 District 2 at Bell City. In Class 2 District 1, moving up to Class 2 District 1, that's taking place at Campbell, starting today here on Saturday. And top-seeded Bernie takes on 8th-seeded Holcomb. 4th-seeded Campbell versus 5th-seeded Portageville. We've got a final on that one. Portageville wins by 2 in overtime. So a little bit of an upset victory there. Portageville over Campbell. And Portageville pulling off the first-round upset of Campbell, actually hosting the tournament. And as the 4 seed, Portageville wins that game by 2 in overtime. So a big win for Portageville over Campbell, moving on to the semis to take on, I believe Bernie's already won earlier in the year. Bernie did win, so it'll be Bernie and Portageville in that semifinal Tuesday night. So a big win for the Portageville Bulldogs over the Campbell Camels. And 2nd-seeded Haytie, they're yet to play this evening. 2nd-seeded Haytie versus 7th South Pemiscot. Boot Hill Conference matchup there. We'll see what happens there. And 3rd-seeded Neelyville versus 6th Zenith Hornersville. So really tough tournament here, as we saw Portageville over Campbell. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some other upsets later on today. But tough tournament there this year in Class 2 District 1, as it typically always is there at Campbell this week. And moving up to Class 2 District 3. Class 2 District 2 is out west, further out west, so we'll go up just north to Class 2 District 3. That's top-seeded Oran. They defeated 8th-seeded Bloomfield today to move on to the semifinals, and that's at Bloomfield, the district tournament. And 4th-seeded Valley Catholic taking on 5th Meadow Heights. 2nd, St. Vincent versus 7th Puxico. And 3rd, Advance versus 6th Chaffee. And moving up to Class 3 District 1 in Kennett today. Matchups 1, Charleston versus 8, Twin Rivers. 4th, Crothersville versus 5th Malden. 2nd, New Madrid County Central versus 7th East Prairie. 3rd, Kennett versus 6th Doniphan. And moving up to Class 3 District 2 at Fredericktown. Top-seeded Scott City versus 8th Woodland. 4th Saxony Lutheran versus 5th Clearwater, 2nd Kelly versus 7th West County, 3rd Arcadia Valley versus 6th Fredericktown. And that's taking place at Fredericktown, underway today here on Saturday. Now moving up to Class 4 District 1. The Class 4 and 5 district tournaments were released this week. And in Class 4 District 1 taking place at Notre Dame in Cape Girardeau, top seeded Notre Dame. Top seeded Notre Dame on their home court and the number 1 seed. They've got a first round bye. They'll take on the winner of 4th seeded Dexter and 5th seeded St. Genevieve. And also with a first round bye is 2nd seeded Cape Central. They will match up in the semifinals against the winner of 3rd seeded Sikeston and 6th seeded Perryville. So a little bit of shuffle this year. We've seen Sikeston typically on top of that tournament in Class 4 District 1. A little change this year. Notre Dame is the top seed, Cape Central with the 2, and Sikeston the 3. So those are your matchups for Class 4 District 1 taking place at Notre Dame in Cape Girardeau this year. That'll get underway next Saturday at Notre Dame. And Class 5 District 1 taking place at Poplar Bluff, and they seeded that. Top seeded Poplar Bluff versus 4th Northwest of Cedar Hill, and 2nd seeded Jackson versus 3rd seeded Seckman. And we'll see who takes that. It's been Poplar Bluff and Jackson going back and forth a number of years. Would likely expect that once again for that district championship in Poplar Bluff starting next week. And let's move to the girls' ranks. Going down to girls Class 1 District 1 at Southland. Top seeded Koshkonong awaits the winner of 2nd seeded Naylor and 3rd seeded Couch. And in Class 1 District 2, top seeded Scott County Central will take on the winner of 2nd seeded Delta and 3rd Oak Ridge. And that's at Bell City. In Class 2 District 1 at Campbell, top seeded Neelyville with a first round bye. They'll take on the winner of 4th Campbell and 5th seeded Hornersville. Then also we've got 2nd Hayti and 7th South Pemiscot. And then 3rd Holcomb versus 6th Portageville. In Class 2 District 1 at Campbell, those games taking place today as well. And in Class 2 District 3 at Bloomfield, top seeded Oran versus 8th Puxico, 4th Advance versus 5th Chaffee, 2nd Valley Catholic versus 7th Bloomfield, 3rd St. Vincent versus 6th Meadow Heights. And in Class 3 District 1 at Kennett, taking place today, top seeded New Matter County Central versus 8th Charleston, 4th Twin Rivers versus 5th Malden, 2nd Donovan versus 7th East Prairie, and 3rd Kennett versus 6th Crothersville. And in Class 3 District 2 at Fredericktown, top seeded Saxony Lutheran versus 8th Clearwater, 4th Kelly versus 5th Fredericktown, 2nd West County versus 7th Scott City, 3rd Arcadia Valley versus 6th Woodland. And those are your Class 3 District 2 matchups. Now moving up to Class 4 District 1 and that girls tournament that was released this week. Top seeded St. Genevieve. Going to be the top seeded St. Genevieve Lady Dragons at the top seed in the first round bye. They'll take on the winner of 4th seeded Sikeston and 5th Dexter. And also with a first round bye, 2nd seeded Notre Dame, the defending Class 4 District 1 champion. Notre Dame Lady Bulldogs, they'll take on the winner of 3rd seeded Cape Central and 6th Perryville. So certainly a shuffle in the Class 4 District 1 girls tournament that's also taking place at Notre Dame and Cape Girardeau. Dexter has had a stranglehold on that district tournament going back about 10 years now. They finally snapped their straight winning streak, I think 9 straight district titles going back to last year, and lost to Notre Dame in the district championship. And certainly a shuffle, Dexter down to the 5 seed. St. Genevieve's had a pretty strong program the last number of years. They're the 1 seed and the defending district champion in Class 4 District 1, Notre Dame Lady Bulldogs, at the number 2 seed. So should be an interesting tournament there in Notre Dame in that Class 4 District 1. And Class 5 District 1 tournament at Poplar Bluff. Top seeded Poplar Bluff will take on 4th Northwest of Cedar Hill, and 2nd seeded Jackson versus 3rd seeded Seckman. And always that's pretty much been Poplar Bluff and Jackson in that Class 5 District 1 championship as well. So I certainly expect that again, and that's taking place at Poplar Bluff, just as the boys are in Class 5 District 1. And Class 4 and 5 will follow next week, get underway next. I think they might not even play on Saturday on Class 5 District 1, but Class 4 certainly probably will. So the Class 4 and 5 are a week behind Classes 1, 2, and 3, which are underway today. And we've got some finals there. Certainly that Portageville over Campbell, pretty big upset there. Even though it's a 4 versus a 5, Campbell's only got about 4 or 5 losses on the year. And Portageville with a losing record. Certainly a capable team. We talked about that, said that last week when we talked about these district tournaments. That Class 2 District 1, we could see one, possibly even two or more upsets on the first day, and we've seen one already, Portageville over Campbell. So Portageville, impressive victory in that game last night, or here today, this afternoon here on Saturday. So Campbell's season comes to an end. Sad to see. They've had a great year and certainly had a great potential run on their home with the tournament on their home court there in Campbell. Had a great opportunity to make the championship game or even win their district, certainly with it on their home court. Certainly had the potential. And we've said that pretty much the top, 7 teams. You saw Seeing at Hornersville made a great run in their conference tournament, playing against pretty much these teams, same teams. So, who knows what's going to happen with that Class 2 District 1 tournament there in Campbell. It's going to be fun to watch. Any team could pretty much come away with that victory going forward. And let's talk about our broadcast schedule going forward. Here are the games that we've got remaining that we'll have this week. We've only got a couple of games on our regular broadcast schedule. Tuesday night, we'll have Notre Dame at Dexter at the Bearcat Event Center. That'll be Tuesday night, the 25th. Notre Dame looking to clinch outright the sole CMO Conference regular season title. They can do that Tuesday night against Dexter. We'll have that right here for you on YHC. Then Thursday night, we've got it's an either or game Thursday night. We're only going to bring one game, but it'll be Thursday night, the 27th. We originally had scheduled Cape Central at Dexter, but we've also got the Class 1 District 1 boys finals down in Southland. And basically the qualifying factor for one game or the other is Clarkton. If Clarkton is in the championship game, they're the 2 seed in that tournament. If they are in that championship game down at Southland, we will intend to broadcast that Class 1 District 1 final from Southland Thursday night, because otherwise we won't really have any local teams in that if Clarkton doesn't win. So we will broadcast the Cape Central Dexter game if Clarkton does not end up in that championship game Thursday night in Southland. So that's the either or qualifying factor there. So it'll be one of those two come Thursday night on the 27th. Cape Central at Dexter or the Class 1 District 1 boys final in Southland Thursday night. Then Friday night we'll have a simulcast, but the game that will be televised will be the Class 2 District 1 boys championship 7:30 start. That will be here on Channel 21, also at the website at yhctv.com and Facebook Live. And then the Class 3 District 1 boys finals at 7:30 will be online only at yhctv.com and our YouTube page as well. So the Class 3 District 1 boys final will only be online. It will not be televised. You can only watch that on our website at yhctv.com and YouTube. So that's our broadcast schedule going forward. Then after this week, we'll see what happens, which teams win and move on. But we will likely have some more games going forward as well in state tournament play and big games going forward. Looking forward to these games, and we'll see what happens. But should be an exciting finish to the season here, and we're going to bring a lot of it to you right here on YHC. And that's all we got for your roundtable for today. Next week on next week's show, next Saturday, we'll have some great games to look back on. We'll have some highlights of some district championships. Hopefully we'll get some contributors and some coaches in to talk about some of these games as well. So look forward to that next week. But great week ahead of us, and district tournament play already underway here on Saturday, and looking forward to seeing how those games play out this week. And have yourself a great week. I'm Tyler Wagner, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.